you think we can colonize Mars?
Yeah, I do, because they found water on Mars, right? So I think with water comes life.
Do you think we can colonize Mars?
Yeah, I do think we can colonize Mars because we've already sent rovers to Mars, so we have the technology to do so.
Sir, do you think we can colonize Mars?
No, whoa, wait up. We cannot colonize Mars because it's a one-way trip and we are not ready for the consequences.
Do you think we can colonize Mars?
Yes, because SpaceX has been successful in reusing their rockets to make their trip more
Do
successful.
you think we can colonize Mars?
No, personally I don't believe that we can because simply transporting 4 people to Mars is $6 billion. So if you can just imagine the full scale of the entire population of Earth or even half of it going to Mars, it's going to be a monumental
Do you
task.
think we can colonize Mars?
No, I don't. I think it'd be not very cost effective and not enough interest to go to Mars.
As you saw from the surveys that I took, people have different opinions as to if we can colonize Mars or not. So let's dive into the logistics and see if we can.
As you can see, there are many things that go into colonizing Mars. Just reaching Mars is a very monumental task, and doing it in a cost-effective manner seems impossible. But SpaceX has come out of the blue, and it has developed a new rocket
Which can be reused again and again, essentially saving money as we won't spend money on developing new rockets. Let's see how it's the best in the business.
The space shuttle takes $18,000 to deliver a kilogram of payload to low Earth orbit, while the Falcon 9 by SpaceX only takes $2,700. Here's how the Falcon 9 rocket works. The first stage has a thrust ratio of 155 to 1, which is the highest known to any spacecraft, which results in a much higher acceleration and a much lower cost than any other space shuttle. Once it's deployed and reaches the lower Earth orbit, the first stage contains another Mariner rocket like the first stage, which also has the 155 to 1 thrust ratio. And the payload can be as big as a school bus, as you can see. Once the shields come off, this will continue Mars. On the other hand, the first stage will deploy thrust boosters to make it possible for the rocket to self-land on the surface of Earth, so we can reuse it, which makes the entire trip very cost-effective. One of the main reasons we're not able to go to Mars right now. As you can see, the Falcon 9 first stage rocket just landed on Earth. Now we can reuse it to send more fuel or another payload into lower Earth orbit. SpaceX has done a couple more landings like this, some at sea and some at land. Humans are very picky when it comes to the suitable environments for living. They need water, air, and land, all of which are provided by the Earth. But other planets, such as Mars, do not have the suitable environments for humans. Such as there's a certain temperature range that the humans need, certain kind of water, certain kind of food, and Mars does not have what it takes to be a habitable planet. So how do we fix that? By something called terraforming. Terraforming is the process by which we can change a planet's atmosphere and land makeup and everything to make it suitable for life. This is how terraforming looks, if you want to visualize it. One of the main problems we have is Mars' atmosphere is really thin. It's only 1% of what we have at Earth. So the solar radiation is really high. Also, the temperatures are around negative 63 degrees Celsius, which humans cannot survive. On top of that, Mars does not have a magnetic field, so the solar radiation is really high. And the gravity on Mars is 1/3 the gravity on Earth. One thing we can do to change this and make it suitable is called greenhouse effect. By doing so, we can trap the heat that comes from the sun inside the atmosphere, essentially warming the planet for it's suited for humans. The things we can use to do this are methane, CO2, and ammonia. Ammonia is the most viable option because we can shoot the surface of Mars through meteors, which are rich in ammonia. And if we manage to grow plants or trees at Mars, that would create oxygen, and oxygen and nitrogen would be the most predominant gases there, which would be the same as Earth. Another thing we need to live on Mars is water. And in order to get water, we can melt the ice caps that exist on both poles of Mars and make the surface flood with water. And if we have this, then we have essentially most things needed for life. But there's one big problem: it does not have a magnetic field. So whatever we create can get washed away from solar radiation. As you can see.
People are working in creating a magnetic field for Mars. One way we can do that is carefully place nuclear warheads and bombard them on the surface of Mars. So we can melt the outer core. Another thing we can do is bombard Mars with meteors so that it starts spinning again, which helps in the creation of magnetic fields. If everything goes right, we could create another Earth 2.0 for humans and other living organisms.